So I'm standing here in my manly man cave. What I'm doing today is I'm doing, I guess, a demonstration and a sales video for my truck. So I have a 1964 Dodge D300 with a 318 poly 4-speed manual transmission with the lowest gear being the bull gear, and it has a dumping box. It was originally a farmer's grain truck, and so the original truck, and I'll see if I can find a picture of it, but it had very high walls. And I guess they would fill it full of grain, and then they would dump the box and put it on a conveyor into the grain silo. So anyways, there's a story behind this truck. And this is a story of the old farmer, the young farmer, and the farmer mechanic. So the old farmer passed away, and the young farmer looked at his dad's old truck and said, wonder if this truck is worth keeping or fixing. So he took it over to the farmer mechanic. The farmer mechanic was having a fire that day and had a bunch of his friends over. And so young farmer said, hey, I don't want to interrupt your party, but would you mind having a look at this old truck and see if it's worth fixing or not? Well, farmer mechanic, all he heard was, yeah, I want you to fix a truck. So he went ahead and fixed everything on the truck. He rebuilt the carb, he replaced the brakes, he put new shocks on it, he gave it a tune-up. He may or may not have redone the heads on it, but it looks like he did because they have more power written on them. So at some point they have been redone. I'm not sure when. But probably it was done at the same time. And at the end of it all, it was a $4,000 price tag for all the repairs on this truck. So a young farmer comes back and goes, hey, so what do you think about that truck? Is it worth fixing? And farmer mechanic goes, yeah, it's done already. And then young farmer went, what? And that's when I came on. So that's when I came on the scene. They put it up for sale, and at that point I'd been looking for a truck for quite a while.
So this is the cab of the truck, and I'm going to show you how to start it. So hopefully you'll get a good view from there.
To start the truck, it has a manual choke right here, labeled C. The one beside it is L, that's for lights. And give it a few pumps of the gas, and then see if it'll turn over. Usually at this point I push my choke in about halfway, give it a few more pumps, and turn it over again. This is usually the point where it starts. Too much choke. Not enough choke. No, turn that off. Make sure that's on. Okay, so I guess I need a little bit of choke still. Anyways, it's been off for, I don't know, it's been sitting here for an entire week. And it's been really cold this week. Got down to minus 38. I think right now it's about minus 18. But I've left this truck for like 3 months at a time, gone away on a course or something. I came back and started her up the same way I started her today. So the truck's never let me down. anyways, I'm just gonna go do a little bit of cleanup on the truck, and I gotta move a vehicle out of the way, and then I'm gonna show you how to drive this thing. Okay, so to drive this vehicle, it has a hydraulic clutch. So if you look under the hood, there's actually two, what would you call those? It looks like there's two master cylinders in there, but one is for the hydraulic clutch and the other is for the brakes. There's no power steering in this truck, no power brakes. Sometimes you gotta, pump up the brakes a little bit to get the pressure up, because it is not power assisted brakes. It's just you. Anyways, we're in reverse now, and we're gonna back up. Okay, so this is first gear up here, and this is known as the bull gear. I don't often use this here because it's for when you're carrying like a heavy load. As you can see, it just doesn't go very fast. So normally, this is second. Normally I would use this gear. Now from first and second, I find I don't have to double clutch. But usually from second to third, I almost always have to double clutch. So we'll show you that in a minute. I think we'll drive out of town a little bit. So that was bull gear and then second again. This time here, I'm gonna start in my second gear. Okay. So we're running up the hill, heading out of town. I'm in third gear right now. I had to double clutch. So the way you double clutch, I'll show you in just a sec. You push in the clutch. Pull it out of gear, you release the clutch, you put the clutch in a second time, put it in the gear you want it to go into, and then release the clutch. And that's how double clutching works. I mentioned, but this old truck needs a muffler, but I didn't change the muffler because I actually like the noise. So generally I start off in first gear. Well, I mean second gear, because the bull low gear is just for when you're carrying a heavy load. kilometers an hour now. Did I mention it needs a muffler? Everywhere I go, I get a lot of compliments on this truck. People just love these old trucks. And if you are thinking about starting some sort of a little business with this truck, it's definitely a work truck. And but at the same time, it will draw attention to you and to whatever it is that you're doing. Push it up to 60 miles an hour. I think that's like 100 or something. So now we're going 60 miles an hour. So the downshift, you push in the clutch, put it in the neutral, rev the engine a little bit, let the clutch up, push it in again, and push it into the gear you want to go into. The reason you need to rev up the engine a little bit is you need to, it doesn't have synchro mesh, so that's the way you downshift on a non-synchro mesh transmission. Now you see they're going from third into second. I just did it with one clutch and transferred it over. It just, after a while, you get the kind of the feel of the truck and what you can and can't do. I think that's the same with, you know, with most trucks. People, once you get familiar with the way it works, it'll just become natural. But to start off, double clutching would be a great idea until you actually get the feel for the transmission and how it functions. So I just did a double clutch there from second to third. Did it pretty quick because I wasn't explaining it. Okay, so right now, you can see it doesn't want to go into first right away. Double clutch it, and it goes right in. So that's sort of the thing that happens. Sometimes you have to double clutch. Anyways, I'm going to quickly show you around the vehicle, and that should be the end of my little demonstration video. So this is the engine bay of the truck, and there's the motor right there, and you can see it has a oil wash air filter, so you never have to buy air filters for it. You can see it's been upgraded to an alternator. And got the good old radiator from the olden days, and nice big 318 V8. The horns work really good. Don't use them very often, but so they do work. And we'll just do like a walk around of the truck. So these are the 4 new tires that I had bought for it. And there's the box full of snow. But it would be really easy to rebuild that box if you wanted to put a different walls on it. Yeah, the flatbed is pretty solid. But if you wanted to replace these, you know, all the hardware is there if you wanted to use the same old hardware style again. And the metal straps on the side. So if you wanted to keep that original look, but you could also put anything you want on the back of it. I think it's 8 bolts hold it on, and like any other pickup, you can put whatever you want. So that's basically the truck. And give me a call. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my 1964 Dodge D300. And have a nice day.